Hi, and welcome to the U World Order Showcase podcast. Today, we have with us Pamela Downes, the visionary behind Spirit Calling. Pamela founded Spirit Calling to help guide people through their spiritual awakening. The Spirit Calling online community offers classes and tools to heal the body, mind, and spirit. Welcome to the show, Pamela. I'm so
Thank
excited to
you.
chat with you today.
Me too. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Yeah, me too. We were talking a little bit before we started recording about the energy of today,
Hmm.
which as we're recording this is in June.
Yes.
So I have to
We
let
are
people know
mid-June. Yeah.
mid-June. And I'm feeling it. Today is just like I felt like I was in this quagmire and it's like suddenly there was a breakthrough
Hmm.
and things are starting to click. And you
I
want to
feel
talk
it
about that
too.
one? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it too. And we had every month we have a conscious community connection circle call inside of our community, and we do like a little check-in.
Mhm.
And it's so fascinating to see people going through the same experiences in their life, like incredible, the same exact experiences. And I find, I'm not surprised by that anymore, of course, because we're all so connected in our spiritual communities, all of us. That's yours, mine, and everyone who's listening. We're all on a healing journey, and we're all elevating and helping to elevate consciousness on the planet. And so we're connected so incredibly to everything and everyone, and elevated in that way. And I did notice last evening through till right now, till we got on to the phone call, um, there was like a burst or a surge of energy. There was almost like a breaking free of sorts, an ignition. I had a friend in England that texted me out of the blue and said, I've been feeling like I've been stuck. I was in the mud. I didn't know what direction I'm supposed to go in. I just sat in intense, profound healing work most of this morning. And I came out of it and I feel clarity. I feel like I know what I'm supposed to do. There were so many revelations, so much understanding that came. I got another text like that later this afternoon. Someone last evening said that. So we see these ebbs and flows, of course, and we all feel them because
Mhm.
we're feeling the energy of the planet, we're feeling the energy of everyone else, we're feeling the dynamics of our world and world events and conversations that are happening. But I do feel like things are coming to a head, so to speak. And there's, I think, a breakthrough for all of us in the spiritual community who are leading and healing and serving. They're going to be really elevated very quickly, very quickly. And we're ready for it. Don't you think? Don't you feel like we've been ready for it? That's what we've been building up for.
Yeah, this whole year and
Yeah.
partly last year too, but it I'm hearing this in other communities as well, not just the spiritual communities, because
Hmm.
there are like tangent communities out there that are looking at things that are going on linguistically, say,
Mm.
and and they're coming up with these same things. It's like we're building towards a head. It's going to be really significant,
Hmm.
and things are going to shift and it's coming really soon, like in July. And
Hmm.
they're not saying it's going to be good, it's going to be bad. It's just there's shifts of energy and the good bad label doesn't really
Doesn't
serve
work.
anybody.
No,
It
right.
it's just different.
Hmm.
It's going to be different and
Hmm.
everybody experiences it slightly differently also.
Yeah. It's the way I felt when 2020 was coming.
Mhm.
I had this surge. I had this feeling like this buildup through the end of the year, this buildup. And I kept saying, I don't know what's coming because I started shifting and waking. I was waking up for forever, but all of my clairs opened up and my channeling started after 2019 in November and like in a big way in 2020. And so it was that. It was my work. It was what I was about to experience, but it was the planet. It was everything that was happening. So it's the same. That's exactly how I'm feeling right now, that there's an anticipation of sorts for something bigger. And I have premonitions, I get downloads, I've had visions, I sort of know what's coming. So, and I've been wondering, and when is this coming? When is it coming? And it's going to come to a head. And July is going to be a big month that opens things up right before the fall. Yeah, for sure.
That's what I've been hearing too.
Hmm.
It's just like July. is going to be significant.
Yeah.
And I was like you, it was like 2019, I started waking up, and it's not, you'd think, oh yeah, suddenly you're just waking up, but it's a process. It's
Oh
not like
yeah.
one day you're just like there.
No.
You it kind of builds, and there's things that go on with you physically and
Mhm.
emotionally, and I just like
Yeah.
with relationships, because you're suddenly not, and it is a sudden thing. You are suddenly not who you used to be.
Exactly.
But the
Yeah.
process of not being that person anymore, that's what takes time. And I love your spirit calling community in that it provides a place for people that are waking up to
Mhm.
talk with other people that are different parts of the path, not necessarily gurus yet.
Correct. Yeah, Jill, exactly. I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, I always say I started my journey in 2012, 2008, and with the recession. I was starting to have questions before that. I was starting to wonder who God was, why, if God is love, how will God judge me when I die? How will I have, I believe eternal life is my gift. I started just breaking these boundaries, breaking these boundaries. Now I'm hearing these conversations and people on podcasts now. I'm hearing people ask these questions now. And so there was a surge of us, and before us, even of us waking up to start our healing journey, to fall into our work, to be able to support the masses that are coming next. And I always say that there's knockdowns, I call them, that happen in our life that shift us upside down, open our perspective, show us our world in a new way, show us our reality in a new way, show us ourselves, the people that are in our life, the things that we're doing in a new way. And suddenly, like you said, you're not the same person that you were. You can't be. So the people that were in your life, the things you did in your life, they don't fall into alignment anymore. So you're on this journey of who am I? What do I want to do? Who do I want to be with? What do I want to talk about? What do I want to experience? What do I want to learn? And so that's why community is so important, because when I was waking up, I didn't have a community. I didn't really have anyone that I could share my ideas with and my big questions and my crazy ideas. And, I would get judged, or I would be called woo woo or crazy or all the things. It's not our world today. Our world today is talking about, other worlds and other beings and other dimensions and frequencies. And, Joe Dispenza coming out with his source, that's going to be now well recognized and accepted. There's a shift that's happening. And so I had a vision. I was woken up in the middle of the night and I was told spirit calling. I was told spirit calling. And I got up and I wrote it down. And in the morning, I bought the domain and I didn't understand what it was. And then through about a year after I had done ayahuasca and all of my clairs had opened and I started receiving guidance, I kept hearing, you're to build a portal. You're to build a portal for humankind. There's going to be a glass ceiling that breaks, and people are not going to know who they are, what they believed in, what their world is, and they need a place to land. They need a safe place to land. And I was like, a portal for humanity? Okay. Really, literally, I was like, what is that? How can I do that? And I had another vision about a year later, and I saw these little angel wings falling down on the screen of an iPhone, and I got up and I sketched them, and boom 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 boom, it all opened up in my mind, and I understood it was all the same thing, and I created Spirit Calling. We launched in January, and it's a beautiful place. So you can write down what you're experiencing. You can talk about your visions. You can talk about your questions. You can talk about aliens. You can talk about Reiki. You can talk about energy. You could talk about the bumps in the night while you're sleeping. You could talk about anything you want. And there are people there who have experienced it, understand what you're going through, or need to hear about it because they're about to experience it. It's a safe place to grow and share. And we're like a family. So, like you are creating a new place for people to learn. That's what I'm creating, a place for people to learn in a safe space. Yeah, it's
And connect
imperative.
with other people that are
Hmm.
on the same journey.
Yeah.
I truly believe as as a species, we're all connected.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no doubt in my mind about that. But there's it's like if if all of humanity is one body, there are people that function as like different organs in the body.
Right.
And it's
Uh-huh.
nice to collect with, the other organs matching the organs that match yours.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And you find those people. You find
And
them, and like some by coming to your podcast or by somehow hearing me on a podcast. If you're supposed to be on this journey of expanding your consciousness, which is elevating and growing your soul and your understanding of love, that is all of our purpose on this planet. That's why we come here, to expand ourselves and to learn love. Then you will, stumble onto the right things at the right time, and you will find the right person that's at the same place as you, that somehow has the perfect thing to tell you at the right time, right? And that's how it happens. Yeah. Yeah. It's exciting.
it is that the whole universe has got your back. All you
Hmm.
have to do is imagine it, and
Hmm.
that reality can be created for you. And there are beings around us all the time trying to talk to us.
Yes.
And you know when you're not really aware of it, or you're not slowing down enough, you miss it.
Yes, absolutely. Because they're there. There might be a moment, and anybody who's listening can tap into now your memories. There, most definitely, everyone has a moment in their life that they can remember when they wished they listened. When they wished they listened, it could have just been turn left instead of right. It could have been, I wish I chose this job and not that. There's a moment that your soul is trying to come to the forefront. It could be your inner and divine guidance. It could be a deceased loved ones. It can be an angelic guide. It could be many guides intuiting you constantly, because they're all there. They're like your little squad behind you, trying to cheer you on to make better and higher choices each step of your life. And if you can remember, I mean, I remember some, if you can remember them, then you're able to tap into that divine space. We all have it. No one is uniquely different than another. We all have it. We are all the same. We are born with clairsenses. We are born with a pineal gland. We are born with a soul body and a physical body. We are not just this physical body that we see in front of each other. I'm looking at you, you look at me. We have a whole energy pack running our body that is divine energy, that's connected to everything and all that is here, this planet, and all the others, right? In this omnipotent universe. I mean, it's magical and amazing at the same time. But we live a three-dimensional reality. And so we live on planet Earth right now. That's where we chose to come and live at this particular time in this incarnation. And at this time on the planet, we came for the great event. And we are here
It's
to see a
coming.
show. We bought the tickets, baby. We are here.
We pay that price of admission.
Yes, we do. Seriously. Yep.
And
Hmm.
it's not just when we talk about awakening and finding your purpose, it's not about you personally, it's
Hmm.
about the collective. It's really about collaboration. Collaboration is like the word for the year for me
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
It's just like everybody I meet, it's like you got some connection going on, and
Hmm.
that helps in this other area, and it makes everything kind of move.
It does.
And
Hmm.
but again, it's not just for individuals, it's for everybody. We
Hmm.
need you to wake up. We need you to step out and take a chance and listen to
Yeah.
that inner guide, because there's something inside of you that's telling you this is what you're meant to do.
It's true. It's absolutely true. I'm going to find it and I can share it with you, but every Wednesday when we have our conscious community circle, I ask the community members to submit a question to the Great Council of Light. That's who I channel.
Mhm.
And it was about exactly this. And I'll find it before we get off. It says, oh, here it is. It says, one of the messages or one of the questions was, during this pivotal shift, is the energy more aligned with working with ourselves within or co-creating with an outward focus for humanity. And the guide said for us to continue to move forward with the advancements of your community, your planet, and each other. For you are every day working towards advancements in spirit when you are working in that field of consciousness and in that energy with your centers focused in the direction of peace and love. Because when you are outwardly focused on humanity, you are giving from within yourself. You're not depleting, but rather extending your energy out towards others in the way we've spoken about before, extensions of light towards your sphere of influence. That's us. And catapulting yourself into focused intentions together. When you are working only on your own pursuits, you are limiting the advancements of the world as a whole. It is always better to work outwards and extend yourself, for with that extension, you are multiplying your range and extension of yourself within different frequencies and dimensions through all time and space, boomeranging yourself many times over in the direction of your soul's purpose. Boomeranging. I mean, that to me is like, it's so cool, right? So she was
And the
pleased
thing
with
about
that
a
answer.
boomerang, it goes out, but it comes
It comes
back.
back. Yep.
It goes
I
out
know.
again,
Yep.
comes back.
I can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
that is
Yeah.
so beautiful. I love
Yeah.
that a lot.
Me too.
So you guys meet once a week, once a month? How does
Yeah.
that
So
work?
we have different events every week.
Mhm.
And we're basically like a spiritual Facebook. There's different groups within the community. There's a feed, there's an activity feed, so you can post anything you want. And then we have a live meeting room, which is almost kind of like the Zoom room where anyone can meet anyone at any time and have conversations. They can meet for coffee. They can meet to just talk about different events or after events. But it's a special place. It really is a special place. And I love connecting because every month I channel a message for the month for the community. And in our conscious community circles, we'll kind of break down the message and everyone will say, well, this is what it meant to me. And this word stuck out to me. And isn't that interesting? What do you think that word means? The word last night was yoke because they used the word. I know it's cool. And the explanations of what that meant to these different people was fascinating. So I like you said, I am an artist and a musician. That's what I did before I mean, I still do it, but I'm a branding and marketing firm. I have another business and collaboration is what I love to do. So being and speaking and doing this with others is what the guides are saying. It's our highest and best. I love being in that frequency. It's wonderful. It's like playing music, you know?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I liken humanity to
Mm-hmm.
an orchestra,
Yeah,
and everybody is a different instrument, and everybody has their own frequency, and they add to the symphony that is life. And it's so beautiful when
it is.
people are standing up there and playing their note really clear. I think
Mm,
when we start trying to be all things to all people, or we're trying to be the best at like things that we weren't gifted at,
yes.
which was the model for a long time. It's like you
Mm,
have to fit in this box, and your parents said you were going to be X, Y, and Z. So you better just go get your college degree and be
and
X,
be
Y, or
X,
Z.
Y, Z.
And and that wasn't who you are. That wasn't who
Mm,
you were meant to be. And it's not going to serve humanity. And your note is going to be really muddied. When you're playing your instrument, it's always going to be a struggle, and you're not going to shine the way you were designed to shine. And we were
yeah,
all designed to shine in a specific way. And when you find that purpose, it just is like
yeah.
it's it's
You're on the
magical.
stage. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're singing.
Mhm.
It's true. I always felt like I was stupid growing up. I wasn't like everyone else. I didn't understand. You know, I was good at music, I was good at art. I wasn't college material. I wasn't until I found art school. And even then I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I sort of fell into it. I was guided. I chose. That was one of the first times I had to use my inner guidance and I tapped in. I didn't know what I was doing. And you know, when you're with people that are good at what they do that are similar to you, much like the community, you thrive. You thrive because you understand your worth, you understand your value, you understand your unique talents and abilities, and you're able to extend them and resonate in them and make them more powerful. And That's why it's so beautiful now with the shift that's happening on the planet, and all of the soul workers and energy workers and whatever you want to call yourself. We're all connecting with technology all across the whole entire world. I talk with people.
Yeah,
I had a podcast with someone in Japan. Like, it's amazing, what we can do now and how we can spread our word, spread the word, spread our light, spread our gifts, right?
I love that we are so international and it
Hmm.
doesn't matter where you are. You can, you can, we can all meet in this space that doesn't even exist.
Hmm.
Like,
Yes, right.
it
Right.
doesn't.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
we wouldn't just pass on the street, but you can pass in space and in time and in this energy dimension, because that's all this is an energy dimension with people from all over. It is, there's never been a better time to be alive than right now for that
Hmm.
very purpose, that
Yeah.
the people that are supposed to be drawn together are being drawn together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's
just gonna make me
tremendous.
cry.
I know it makes me cry too, because
Very emotional.
just in the 4 years that I have been on the other side of this ayahuasca journey, thank you for sharing that and your emotions. Um, Everything's happened very fast. It's happened very, very quickly. 4 years has gone by in the blink of an eye. It's like, and the shifts with when you're living on purpose, when you're serving on purpose, and to anyone who's not feeling fulfilled and they're not resonating, they're starting to wake up. They don't resonate with their partner. They don't resonate with their friends. They don't resonate with their work. They don't even resonate with their food, or maybe the clothes and the
Yeah.
pastime that you kept. You're having your spiritual awakening. You are having your knockdown. Let's knock up now, but you are having it. You are having it, and it's okay, because you're not alone. You are not alone. What you are doing is blossoming into something new, a new version of yourself. And everything is about to shift in the most magnificent and most beautiful way ever. And part of what happens is you have to go through that, right? That metamorphosis process, and you're breaking away all the things that don't work. I don't resonate with religion. I don't resonate with these family members anymore. I do like this person, that person. I'm having these conversations. Get rid of them. I want new conversations. I want new music. I want new everything.
Mhm.
Then you're able to say, okay, I've got this new life that I've created. The biggest things are the hardest things are the largest soul pieces for you to work on. That's like your work, that's your relationships, like your marriage, whatever. And when you have to really face, what am I spending most of my days doing? What is the work that I'm bringing forth in the world? Am I working on purpose? Is it fulfilling? Like, you are literally stepping into your soul's purpose. And that's a process. And that you definitely need community for that. You definitely need community for that, because it's a
You need
journey.
community.
Yeah, totally.
And you need to expend your resources towards
Mhm.
being part of whatever it is that you're supposed to be part of, and
Mhm.
not panic about, will
Mhm.
there be enough? There will
Yeah.
always be enough.
Mhm.
When you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, it's like it
Yeah.
just flows. I don't know how to
It
explain it better
does.
than that, but
Yeah. It's a great way to explain it. And I often say, Jill, like, you have love or fear with every single choice that you have. Every single choice that you have. You make it with love or you make it with fear. You make it with love, you're going to see the positive direction that it takes you. You're going to see the evidence of that fruitful, loving choice. You make it in fear, and you're going to watch yourself having to make that choice over and over and over and over again, right? It's not going to serve you. It's not your highest and
or
best.
anybody.
No. So and I just told someone in my community yesterday who's afraid, who deals with fear, and she has a lot of mental health issues too, but I really believe that she is a super spiritualist that is just trying to break out of her shell. She's young. And I told her, I said, okay, so now you're facing fear and love. You're facing it big time. So I want you to face them, look at them, put them down in front of you, evaluate them. What is going to happen if I make this choice? out of fear? What is going to happen if I put that fear aside? What are the things that could happen if I do that? And you got to do it. You got to push through it. It's in the 4 years I just talked about. I have combated so much fear because I had to start doing it to understand how positive it will change my life, how the positive experiences will change my life. And I'll get more of those experiences. I'll get more abundance. I'll get more alignments. I'll get more synchronicities. I'll get more, more. But you have to push through it to be able to see it, to continue to do it. Right. And that's it's hard work, but it's valuable work. It's really valuable.
It is really valuable. And
Mhm.
to me, it starts with taking your thoughts captive. You have to know what you're thinking about. And you
Mhm.
have to know that your thoughts generate feelings in your body.
Mhm.
Our thoughts are what drive our emotions, and our emotions are what drive like everything else that we do. And if you're thinking in fear, if you're
Mhm.
vibrating on that low frequency, your brain, because this is what our brains are designed to do, they're gonna look for things, it's gonna look for things to confirm your fears.
Mhm.
And it's gonna keep you down in that spot. And the only way to break out of it is to just keep telling yourself something positive,
Mhm.
finding the positive thing in every situation that's going to spring up, because your brain
Mhm.
is designed to keep you safe, and to keep you safe is to keep you in that same spot. So it'll say, what would I do if this? What
Mhm.
if that? And you have to like consciously say, well, what if this instead?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe you have to put sticky notes all over your house or right on your mirrors, and dry erase markers or any surface you
Mhm.
can find that,
Mhm.
no, this is the truth that I choose to accept. This is the truth I choose to have as my reality. And you can choose whatever you want to be your reality.
Mhm.
Reality is what you create.
Mhm. You are the creator of your reality.
Mhm. And
Yes.
the more that you do that, the more your brain is going to start looking for things to confirm that. Because
Mhm.
that's what it does. It just looks for things to confirm. And then when you're
Yes.
grateful for the little tiniest thing that's proving that you were right, I was right. This is really going to work.
You have evidence.
You have
You have
evidence.
evidence. Hmm. Yeah. I just channeled a course that I'm completing that'll be offered soon.
Mhm.
And it's basically for, people say, oh, frequency. Come on now. Well, you should see the
It's
comments on my
science.
YouTube shorts. It's hysterical. And I'm like, if you're not understanding that we're all living, breathing frequency, we're vibrating beings, like you're the one who really needs to wake up and smell the coffee. Like you have just been, not understanding everything. It's science. It's science based. It's quantum physics. And but the channeled course that I received is basically it's like elementary level, it's experiential. They want you to go back and remember a memory in childhood that's the happiest you've ever experienced. Sit in that. What does that feel like? Feel the vibration of that. And then they make you go through these different times of your life so that you can understand that you are frequency. You can feel it. There's tangible evidence there. And the more that your frequency is at a certain place, well, now you can feel what that feels like. So then you can start, assigning it a number and a scale. And then you're able to bring in more of the higher frequency experiences. You're able to bring in more of what you want because you can understand it. If you don't understand it, you don't know how it works. And a lot of the times, people listen to Abraham Hicks, or I know I did when I started waking up, and you start to understand you're the creator of your reality. You are the manifester, you're the generator, you're creating your reality. And there's like, experiences and things you can do. But if you're not experiencing those sorts of people and those conversations, you have no idea. You really have no idea. You think that life's happening to you, you know, that
It's a
that
whole
you're not in
tuning fork
control of
thing
it.
too.
Hmm.
That
Yes.
when you have one tuning fork and you bring another one that's not vibrating near it, and it'll start
Mhm.
vibrating at that same frequency. And,
Yeah.
we used to say you can't walk by a mud puddle or walk through a mud puddle and not get dirty. Well, it's the same with people. If you're around people that are
Mhm.
always, doom and gloom and this and that, and, in that lower vibration, you're going to feel that too. And so often we don't stop and feel. We
Mhm.
just, go through life, but your body is feeling all the time.
Mhm.
And if you can slow down enough and realize that, I need to be around people that are vibrating at the frequency for the most part. I mean, nobody is like sitting on that mountaintop in the highest
Elevating,
state.
right?
Yeah.
Levitating.
Levitating.
It's
Right.
elevating.
Yet. Yeah. Maybe
Right,
after July, but but for
right.
right now, we all have, the ebbs and flows of life. But if you know what that feels like, if you've gotten into that place and
Mhm.
you can talk to other people who can express, yeah, I've been there. I know what it feels like.
Mhm.
And I strive to be in that
Mhm.
space, and I want to be around other people that are that way, so we can all kind of like get that vibration going.
Yeah.
Even this conversation with you, I have
Mhm.
felt my vibration
Mhm.
like elevate to the place that feels yummy to me and I like to
Yes.
to be in.
Yeah,
But it has to do with community, and
it does.
yes, you can get there alone, but usually it's better if you get there with others.
With others. Yes. And I'll tell you, my brother is going through a major, major experience right now in his life.
Mhm.
And his perspective is shifting. There's healing, there's traumatic soul level healing happening in my family right now. It's incredible. My brother, who, says that he's had different experiences throughout his life, but he's
Mhm.
never really dove into learning more about it. He told me, he said, I was laying in bed and I had this love frequency. Now, the term love frequency doesn't come out of my brother's mouth. And
Right.
it is a very accurate statement. It is a love frequency. It is the highest frequency there is. I've experienced it many times. It's
Mhm.
amazing. And he said, I was in bed because he was scared. He was dying literally.
Mhm.
And love frequency came and just enveloped his whole entire body, and he felt it. And it's wiggles and shivers, and it vibrates up your spine, the back, like all your hairs go, and you're in the space of divine, beautiful love energy. And then it goes. You can ask your guides for that. They want nothing more than to have that experience with you. You can. And it's tremendous. You can ask them to intuit you with guidance. You can ask them to let you experience vibration, let you feel them being near you. Let them be evidence of them near you, and they will do it. If you have to be open to receiving it. There's an openness in your heart that wants it, that allows it, that is open to it. So all of these things are available to you. It's all up to you,
Yeah.
entirely up to you. Hmm. Yeah.
I have Joan and the unicorns. And
No,
sometimes I get to pet the unicorns.
that's awesome. I love that.
It sounds silly, but there's times, when I'm just
No,
like,
it doesn't.
thanks. I just need to pet the unicorns and know that it's gonna be okay,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
we'll just go and pet the unicorns.
It's awesome. I have the Great Council of Light, and they'll come in anytime I want them to, and they constantly are trying to adjust my neck and my body, my channel, my vessel, so that I can receive information more fluidly, more easily. So they love it when I just stop and like let them work on me, which I'm always doing 100 things at the same time. But they are just so excited to support us through this time on planet Earth, and their whole intention is to give us loving, supportive messages and to help us understand what's happening. Right now, I'm giving messages frequently every week and then every month, a big one. But I know, and I've always seen since I started having my visions, that I will be transmitting visions of what's happening in the world, of global events, global updates. And I just signed a contract with the Ethereal Network, which is a really cool new spiritual platform that's going to be streaming all kinds of cool spiritual stuff. And so I know that I'm going to be transmitting messages there. And other dimensions, other frequencies, other beings. We're all brothers and sisters, and we just happen to be here on this planet at this time having this experience, and they want to support and help us. They really do. So unicorns or whatever they are, they are existing. You just don't see them in the three-dimensional reality. You just don't. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I think there may be a time when some of this stuff starts phasing in
Yeah.
and people will see more of these things. I'm not totally uncertain that it doesn't happen sometimes. I've seen someone shapeshift
Yeah.
in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a phase. It,
Mm-hmm.
it was like this, you know, first they were not, then they were, and then they were
Yeah.
not.
Mm-hmm.
I've known this person and
Mm-hmm.
I've never spoken to them about what I saw, but
Wow.
I know what I saw.
Yeah.
And so I think that we may be coming into a period of time where more of that will happen, that you
Mm-hmm.
will see things that exist, but we haven't been
Oh,
in a vibrational situation where we could actually see it.
oh yeah. I mean, I could talk for hours about this. And your you world order. I can talk
Mhm.
about the other one and why it exists and why certain people are in control and why they look a certain way because they're more easily controllable, and why other ones are suppressed because they're not. And there's just so much to it that, yes, you're right. The frequency of the planet is shifting. People are not getting bogged down with food and manipulation and news, and all people are seeking and they want to know more. They're not just walking one foot in front of the other anymore like sheeple. They are breaking out and they are learning to live and understand for themselves. And that's when we say consciousness is shifting. Yeah, it's shifting in the big way. And the veil is thinning,
Mhm.
and I've had visions of other worlds coming. I've seen a whole sky filled with ships in a brand awareness campaign saying, "Hey, we're here. We're not striking you. We're not hurting you. We have the best intentions. Everything you've learned and heard and seen in movies and TVs and all the news that's pumped out, that's not real. You are us. We are you. And there's
And
certain
they've been
laws.
here like
They've been here. Yeah, there's certain
for
laws
a
of the
long
universe,
time.
and there's certain rules, and it's interesting. I don't know if you've ever heard of Elizabeth April. She's, oh, you need to. I'll send you her YouTube.
Okay.
She talks to the Galactic Federation, and there's lots of communication there. And I mean, it's all angelic beings. They're all intertwined. It's all connected. And it's just about like, where are you on your journey, and how much can you absorb? And there's a lot to be learned. There's a lot to be seen. But I'll tell you, I could be
Yeah.
at a corporate function, I could be at a dinner party. People are having conversations. It's not just with my spiritual friends. It's everywhere. I have a
Yeah.
business. I am constantly doing business development. I am meeting people constantly. I'm in the corporate space. It's what's coming up at my lunches. Like, it's coming up. People are talking about spirituality. People are talking about other beings and other worlds. People are talking about control, and people want to be in charge of their thoughts and their bodies and their decisions. And I think that's called, I don't know,
Having
it's
a life
called
experience.
it's called what we were innately brought here to experience, and who we are as sovereign beings. And I enjoy all of it. I love having conversations about it.
I
So,
think if you look back at some of the things that have happened in history, you can see hints of that this isn't new. This isn't
no,
like it didn't just happen a couple of years ago.
no.
It's been going on. If you listen to Admiral Byrd
Mm-hmm.
and his talks about what's happening in the center of the earth, there's like a whole civilization in there
Mm-hmm.
that we're programmed to think that the earth exists in a certain way, and that we're the only things here and the world revolves around us, but that
Mm-hmm.
that just simply defies
Isn't
logic.
true. Yeah.
And I was watching a TV show. It was a while ago, but it was the Gate, the Gates movie. It was about I forget what it's called. The ancient gates where the aliens could portal in and they could
Mhm.
portal out. And there
Mhm.
was one episode, I can see it was a movie. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, but it
Uh,
sounds
uh,
fascinating.
oh, it was a military project, and they went through these gates, and the gates were portals into
Uh-huh.
other places, and the aliens would come to our planet as well. And they were talking, they were one episode was about them talking about a TV show where they were talking about something gates, about these gates. It was a TV show talking about a TV show talking about doing what they were doing on the TV show, which
Uh-huh.
kind of was like a
That's
wink, like
reality.
this
Mm-hmm.
is reality. This is
Mm-hmm.
what is really going on.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Stargate, that's what it's called.
Stargate. Okay, well now I'm gonna have to watch that because I sounds like something I would like to watch.
It,
But it's true. I
yeah.
I say this all the time, and everything is backwards day. So everything that you think is real, it isn't. It's the only way to explain it all the
Mhm.
rules, all the regulations, all of the history, all of the structures, all of the financial institutions, it's all backwards day. It's all not like these are all created to keep us into submission, to keep us into debt, to keep our vibrations low, to keep us worried. I mean, my kids didn't even graduate high school yet. I'm getting credit card, things in the mail from them to like get them started, get them in. You're born and you're given a number. You are nothing but collateral to a note that is a debt to another part of the world. And so we don't, if you think about
Religious
it,
organization.
it's crazy. And there's a small percentage of people that rule the entire planet. And it has been that way for a very long time. And there's, when you go back to the originator of beings that created our species on this planet, there's lots to be found out. And if you've ever heard of Billy Carson's been on Joe Rogan now. I mean, things are becoming mainstream. Things are being discussed. They can have comments and say, I got to get got to roll my joints for this one. This is going to be a great show, but good, they're watching it. Let them watch it. Let something inside of their mind go, I thought that. I've had that thought. I heard something like that. Or then they'll go on their merry way and see something that strikes them. But that's a, you know, not so much spiritual, but that's mainstream. That is consciousness shifting. That is perspective opening.
Mhm.
That those are people who are, we didn't have these opportunities before with media, with the internet to spread
Yeah,
information the way that we do now. And it's amazing. It's
just
amazing.
explore ideas and
Mm-hmm.
concepts that a lot of people have. There's just like all these sparks out there, but when they're just a single spark, it's really hard to get any traction with it.
Yeah.
But when you have somebody like Joe Rogan who's standing out there saying, hey,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk,
Mm-hmm.
it
He's
doesn't
so well
have to be
versed now.
true or not true.
Mm-hmm.
It just
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. Truth is
Mm-hmm.
subjective. It really is. There is
Mm-hmm.
no absolute.
Mm-hmm.
Even things that we think are absolute really aren't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's why when they talk about um, Christ consciousness and the return of Jesus Christ and all of that stuff. It's Christ consciousness. It's the return of love and understanding and collaboration and a collective community and sharing gifts and telepathic communication and free energy and all the things that we had in these past civilizations. That's what it is. It's not a physical man coming back or spiritual being coming back and so to speak. It is consciousness shifting, is a return to love, is a return to love. And when people have been indoctrinated into religion, I'm not against religion. I'm just merely stating a point. And I have firsthand experience. My mother is Catholic. I was raised Catholic. My mom can't understand that religions are false or made up or constrictive or funneling us into a bounded book of ideology and where you cannot think for yourself and you have to think within the bounds of it. she can't understand that I don't believe that Jesus had to die to save me and give me eternal life. She thinks Reiki is, she thinks Reiki
Witchcraft.
is, she was scared of it. But my grandmother, they were in a charismatic group and they laid on hands. And my mom, they did a laying, that was Reiki. And we were just in University of Pennsylvania Hospital with my brother, and there's a Reiki pamphlet sitting there. I mean, and my mom, I said, look, Mom, they have Reiki here. It's interesting. It's interesting.
I
But
think the whole breaking free of religion is
mhm,
is happening kind of at warp speed at the moment.
mhm,
And I think once the big revelation happens, your posters of the alien spaceships,
mhm,
it's gonna like tip the rest of it over.
boom. Mhm,
It religion hasn't really served humanity all that well.
mhm.
It ended up getting like combined into a little, that's a very small pool.
It's
And
a control. It's control. When religion wasn't working anymore, social media controlled everyone. Like, it's, but I have seen, I can't explain it. People are searching for faith. They're searching right now for something to believe in. And they're talking about religion because they don't know how to put it they don't know how to talk about it. They don't know what words to use. They don't know how it exists. But like, famous podcasters like Sean Young, and he's a Navy SEAL I was listening to him. I love listening to people and their awakening stories. There was angel numbers that he was seeing, like he'd never seen them before. And then there was a text out of the blue from somebody who knew something that he was thinking, that heard something. Like that's the universe. That is that like interconnectedness. That is, you know, it's not religion, but he's finding faith in that. And so that's giving him something closer to love. It's something they're seeking. People are feeling lost. And I've been told so many times that people are going to come to the portal like that. It's going to be like a container of salt or a cup of sand. They're just going to suddenly appear there because there's going to be something that happens that just rocks everybody's world. So I know sort of what that could be because I've had visions of it. And there's World War III talks, and there's all kinds of things that are on the table now that are being thrown around very haphazardly. So we don't know what's coming. We don't know what's coming, but we do know that there's a shift in perspective, and there's a shift in understanding. COVID did it. COVID made everyone sort of somehow have compassion, empathy, right? And a different level of, all kinds of things happen in COVID. I know. But the positives of it were people had a new perspective. What am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my work? What am I doing? I'm spending time with family, those sorts of things. So
what's
that was,
important
yeah.
really
Mm-hmm.
became a lot more clear. And we all had to stop for a little while and
Yes, we
slow
did.
down and listen
Yes. Yes.
instead of the constant busyness. I think it really backfired on them if it was a planned attack. And I say that loosely. Um, it it didn't have the it didn't give them the result that they were hoping for.
I think it was a
Just
test.
yes.
Hmm. And that's all
And
I'll
we
say about that.
failed. All right, Pamela. So people can find your community where?
Yeah. They can find us at spirit-calling.com. And we welcome everyone with open arms. You could be anywhere in your faith journey, anywhere in your spiritual journey. It doesn't matter where you are. It's a safe place for you to come. You get 7 days free where you can just come in. You can join all the events. You can have the curated sound healings. You can have coursework and resource library and all kinds of stuff to try and test out. And then I'm also on YouTube and Spirit Calling Live the Call. I put a podcast out called Live the Call where I interview people who are living and working in their soul's purpose, which is really cool. And then I have a new course coming out, which I'm really excited. But the big thing right now is this new show called Divine Wisdom on the Ethereal Network. It's ETHEREAL network.tv. And there's lots of cool people with lots of cool shows. It's going to be a new sort of elevated consciousness streaming platform where you can learn. So I'm really excited to be a part of that. That happened like overnight, you know.
Do you know if
It's
that's
cool.
connected to Roku?
Yep, it's going to be connected to Roku. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
To
Awesome.
all
So
of
you
them,
can
Fire
just,
TV and all the things. Yeah. Yeah. So go check that out.
yeah, definitely going to do that. So this has been an amazing conversation.
Thank
Almost
you.
an
It
hour.
has it really? That's awesome. See what I mean? How fast it
I
goes?
know, I know. So what's the one thing that you hope the audience takes away from this conversation?
I hope that they know that they are not alone, because you don't have to be alone. There's options for you, because being alone, you can be scared, you can be worried, you don't know what you're doing, you don't have anyone to talk to, you fall in within yourself and you recede. And you don't have to be alone. You can expand, you can experience, you can find love, you can find a better life, you can find your soul's purpose by joining community. So I hope that everyone who's listening can, if they're feeling alone, they know they have an option.
Awesome. Thanks for joining me.
You're welcome, Jill. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the You World Order Showcase podcast. We hope you've enjoyed hearing from our incredible life, health, and transformational coaches who are making a profound impact on the world. Remember, change begins with you, and you have the power to transform your life and the lives of others. If you want to take that next step and unlock your true potential, visit thecoachesalchemist.com, where you can find the 3 ways we can help you for free to spin your talent into gold with clarity, a system, and a plan. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an inspiring episode. And if you enjoyed today's show, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback means the world to us and helps us reach more people with our positive message. Stay connected with us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and upcoming guest announcements. You can find us on Facebook at the You World Order, or simply visit thecoachesalchemist.com.